We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and our Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 134. 34 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. Of course, I'm your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and of course, producer, Rob Flores. You can follow us on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, and YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes. Of course, we're doing this virtually via Zoom. So staying safe. Hopefully everyone gets their vaccines in the next few weeks, months, eventually sooner rather than later. But yes, let's talk about wrestling. Well, forgot to give you guys your promotion here. You can follow me at EthanMV95 on Twitter, James at
JHW Reporter,
and Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
There you go. Rob's excited this week because his favorite's 24/7 champion again. Did you hear? Did you hear the news? Bad Bunny gifted R-Truth the title.
What?
he gifted him.
Yeah,
Why?
they traded titles because R-Truth was paying homage to Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, this past week was Austin 316 Day, and then Appreciation Week for 25 years of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he had the Stone Cold Broken Skull title, and he asked Bad Bunny to trade, basically, and they did. So R-Truth is technically 24/7 champion again.
So no tag team match with him.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that tag team match, but R-Truth is champion again. Bad Bunny did win a Grammy last week.
No title at the Grammys, though.
No,
Right?
no, he performed.
Was it the Booker T song?
No, I believe it was a different song. But yes, he performed there. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen Booker T there, so which would have been a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, he was, he did perform, and then he did show up last week. And looks like we're going to be getting that tag team match after all.
Yeah, well, too, assuming that the Grammys were live on Sunday, which I assume it was, I mean, he got back on a plane right away and was back on Raw that next week. So, I mean, he's putting in the time. That's for sure. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. Even if that's just kind of the segments that he's doing, dropping the title that way, if there's another tag team segment or something, but but I think what's his name had a match. Damian Priest had a match, I think. So I'm assuming he was out for that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, he's putting in the time, and at first you kind of hear a lot of the speculation about Bad Bunny coming in. He's coming in for a show, and then he's been on there every week since he debuted, or since he initially showed up and made his first appearance, right? I believe he's been there ever since. So you gotta give him credit for that for sure.
Well, he got hit in the back with a guitar this past Monday by, of course,
I saw that.
Probably the greatest WWE champion of the last month, The Miz. I don't know why you made that face, James, but looks like we're getting the tag team match between Miz and Morrison of the last month, okay? Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny is likely going to happen at Mania now, as speculated. Should be a good, interesting match, a celebrity match with three great wrestlers, in-ring performers. That'll make for a good storyline, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this thing has already kind of been built up for a little while now, so the match is not like something unexpected or just thrown together this last week. So yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it, and I'm still not kind of happy with the way they just gave Truth the title. Not that, it means it's a 24/7 title, but I don't know. Just have him eat the pin.
But he can't lose his first match. Although unless it's Miz or Morrison.
I guess that's fair. He didn't lose it. Didn't he? Oh no, that was somebody else. All right, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of who's the radio show? Rosenberg. I thinking that was Bad Bunny who got sneak attack, but that was Rosenberg. So.
No, that was Rosenberg.
So yeah, I guess he still hasn't lost. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Speaking of WrestleMania, tickets went on sale this past Friday.
Mm-hmm.
25,000 people per night expected.
Mm-hmm. And are you attempting? Did you try? Are you waiting?
You know what? I'm waiting for my press pass. I'm waiting for.
Imagine.
Right.
I mean, maybe next year.
Waiting for
that's
my
a bummer.
flight.
That's the thing that bums me out is I keep thinking of this WrestleMania and say, oh, it's supposed to be in LA this year. That's all right. It's next year, and it's not even next year. It's like the year after.
Mm-hmm. Texas somehow cut in front of us.
Yeah. Well, wait. Who is it again?
It's Texas next year.
Texas.
They weren't even
there. Yeah, they really did. That's okay though. Whatever. Just hope it's a good storyline. I mean, that's a whole episode in itself. Who's going to be the champion at that? But
we'll see. We'll see indeed. Let's talk about NXT and AEW. Kind of all over the place because Fastlane, as we're recording this, Fastlane has not happened yet for us.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, before we get into NXT and AEW, let's talk about how much of a fighting champion Roman Reigns is, and how much of a fighting champion Bobby Lashley isn't.
So,
you and I.
Are you admitting that was you with the slander on Twitter?
No, I don't tweet from my personal opinions from the
but the real
account.
BTR account, was that you with the slander?
That's our intern. I hired an intern.
We have an intern, and you got Rob over here on double phone duty. Well, when did Rob get 2 phones? I mean, I have 2 phones, but
go over to YouTube and you'll see Rob currently on 2 phones.
I'm kind of shook. Like, what is he? He better be getting us like a sponsorship.
I hope he's getting us booked for something.
I want a bowl of just blue M&Ms. That's the only thing I ask.
All about the green Skittles, all right?
Skittles are cool. I mean, I'll settle for Skittles. That's fine. So yeah, I mean, we're just talking about Fastlane coming up. I don't know if we want to give predictions just because the show already happened by the time we did it.
Well,
you were talking, or you want to talk about Roman Reigns real quick? Go ahead. And I like Roman Reigns. Don't get me wrong, but
well, I think wrestling again? Exactly, Daniel Bryan, the B+ player.
Okay, fair enough.
Something. I mean, Roman doesn't need this match. Come on, Lashley gets a pass to WrestleMania.
I mean, he's been defending the title on Raw.
He defended it once.
And he won it once. And he more or less had 2 or 3 matches the night he won it.
It took him like the entire roster and 3 matches for him to finally get a victory over The Miz. I mean, he can't win a match by himself.
If that's how you want to, frame it in your head, that's great. You do that. But from what I've seen is he's had him in a full Nelson and shook him around a few times and made The Miz tap out at least twice now.
Mm-hmm. It was confirmed Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre.
So it was. So
yes.
You want to talk about this fighting champion thing that Roman Reigns is because he's going to fight once a month on a pay-per-view. But you have someone like Bobby Lashley, who apparently is not a fighting champion, but won the championship on Raw, defended the title on Raw, and already has his WrestleMania match figured out. I mean, so does Roman Reigns, but That's what happens when you have a 2-second match on the last pay-per-view.
Look, right?
Why didn't you show up?
Daniel Bryan knew what he was getting himself into in that match. Okay, it's not Roman's fault. He wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm. It just okay. So let's be honest. It's kind of weird that you would show up on a pay-per-view or any show only to like have a 2-second match with Daniel Bryan at Elimination Chamber, right? Like, what do you do already?
He's got a match.
Okay, it was like 2 minutes.
Look,
okay,
I know. Don't insult Goldberg like that. Okay, Goldberg has had a number of matches.
But he did it every week, though. At least, I mean, yeah, his career is probably an hour long in ring total, sure, but he was pretty consistent there for 100 and some weeks. Sometimes being 2 or 3 guys at a time. But honestly, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have Roman Reigns in matches like that where it's only gonna be a couple seconds or whatever. But I think it's actually smart for WWE to be doing that because you're having you're protecting Roman Reigns in a little bit, not protecting him, but like from injuries and stuff like that. Like you're keeping him healthy in the meantime, so that way when you do get to WrestleMania, you do get to Fastlane. Probably more so with WrestleMania, you can have a 30-minute match, a 40-minute match that I would expect from Roman Reigns. And we'll probably get because he's going to be in there with Edge. Edge is a good worker. And there's obviously, or do we want to, I guess we could talk about it now before we get into the Drew McIntyre stuff and Bobby Lashley and all that. But what was it? Paul Heyman said something regarding Christian, who made the jump to AEW, more or less telling, Heyman directed it at Edge, saying that your best friend got out when he did. What is that, the Shawn Michaels, John Cena Funko that Ethan is showing on the screen? Go check out the YouTube page. He has Edge on the screen and a Funko. So yeah, it was, there you go. That's a better look. Okay.
It's a brand new Edge Funko Pop. There you go.
Brand new. Okay. Is it an exclusive?
No, he's not. But it's got the new gear and stuff. So it's modern Edge too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very nice.
All right.
So what was I saying? The
Edge. Christian.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So going back, Paul Heyman says Christian got out of town when he did because he knew Roman Reigns was going to go after. He was going to go after Christian. So Christian got out while he could, jump ship to another company, and that's the reason why.
That's right.
That Christian did leave for AEW because he was scared of Roman Reigns.
He's scared. It's okay. Everyone is.
Well, apparently not Edge. Edge, he's taking on the challenge. I mean, don't sit here and poo-poo Edge like you're not holding his Funko Pop, sir. So don't come to me like you hate the man because you obviously like him. You got his Funko Pop. It's not like you're building a whole collection of all the wrestlers now. So you're not fooling me.
I do have.
Do you have a Roman Reigns Funko Pop?
No, I did not. But if there's a new one with the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns one, I'll get that one. I do have a China one.
Wow, WWE license, huh? They actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
How old is that one?
Also brand new, same line as Edge.
You gotta turn off your thing. I can't see.
Yeah, I gotta put it up.
Yeah, who else is in that series? I guess.
1 second.
Yeah, I got to show mine.
There it is, right there.
Just know mine is better than yours.
Drew McIntyre. Which one? Oh, the Bret Hart one.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yeah, he's right here.
No, he's right here.
No, right here. This one right.
Bret Hart.
Or Undertaker here. Here you go.
Okay.
You'll build my little set.
They don't have the old school Undertaker.
They have. I don't think they do. Not 90s Undertaker. Maybe.
I thought I'd probably get that one. I think they do. Maybe they have like a Ministry of Darkness one, but we'll save that discussion for another day.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. Our
Okay,
truth
so
going with the free little Jimmy Robs.
yeah, I mean that's what we do here. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. Obviously Christian's not going to be the mix, as we know. Edge may still get involved in Fastlane, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the build-up going into WrestleMania will be there.
Mm-hmm.
You did kind of mention that it was made official earlier this week that Bobby Lashley will be going into WrestleMania as the WWE champion, going one-on-one against Drew McIntyre, which I don't know how I feel about, because I think they're going to put the title back on Drew at WrestleMania just so he can have his moment. But I also think that's a little too predictable. And when you give Bobby Lashley the well-deserved fancy new entrance the way that he has gotten over the last few weeks since winning the title, I think we will continue to see Bobby Lashley as champion after WrestleMania is done and the lights go off. Yep, I said it.
Very controversial of James to see that.
No, it's not.
I mean,
cool manager, MVP, I guess so. Yeah,
I suppose.
I like the I like the entrance that Bobby Lashley has. I like the.
It's nice. It separates him.
Face that MVP gives him kind of let Bobby Lashley go out there.
All right, some technical difficulties.
I think they're doing it right, and I don't know. I mean, they don't do things right like that unless it's for a reason. Like, I don't know. I like it though.
All right. Okay, so yeah, no, I think we're good now. Having some issues with James, but that's what happens when we're talking via Zoom. I think he's back to normal here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're being safe. We have a little bit of technical difficulties, but
we're good.
I mean, it is what it is.
But you think Lashley's going to retain at Mania?
I know Lashley's going to retain at WrestleMania.
Just like I know Roman Reigns is going to retain at WrestleMania.
Don't twist my words. He's going to retain at WrestleMania. Okay. Uno, dos, tres in the ring. Boom. And MVP. Yes. And I don't think MVP is going to get involved either. It's going to be he's going to just choke him out in the middle of the ring.
Well, we'll see about that.
Maybe
we'll see about that. Let's talk about someone who apparently has heat backstage. Did you hear about this? Oh, well, it's a tease because we're going to take a commercial break. But when we return, we're going to talk about someone who has some heat right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 80.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 134 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and, of course, producer Rob Flores. We are currently doing this via Zoom remotely away from the 22S Radio studios. But we're excited to be doing this here. And we got to talk about someone who apparently has heat backstage. And
is it heat or is it nuclear heat? I think it's just kind of heat.
I think it's heat. It's heat.
It's heat. But it's getting close, though.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do. You do.
I do. You do.
Do you?
Do you? I don't know.
Yes. Miss CC, right?
Yes. Of course, I am on wrestlingnews.co, so this comes from them. And they reported it from Fightful Select. So this is from wrestlingnews.co, of course. It turns out the WWE on-air talent, Charlie Caruso, apparently has some backstage heat due to consistently being late to conduct interviews at Raw events. Specific instances are with Randy Orton and Sheamus that led to her being taken off TV for the time being. Of course, Vince McMahon heard of Caruso's tardiness and took exception to the situation. A source told the media outlet that Caruso is one injury or illness away from being back in the fold, in addition to indicating the hiring of Kevin Patrick earlier this month, who has been kind of a direct replacement to Caruso, being a backstage interviewer, and of course hosting Raw Talk over the last few weeks. Although not confirmed, apparently wrestlers believe her contract expires soon. There's been no word yet on whether she intends to stay with the company, as she also has a job with ESPN.
Right. I was just about to say that. Yeah. I think she has a job with ESPN.
That's interesting. You don't normally hear too many interviewers or kind of, non-wrestlers having too much heat backstage. But it happens, I can't be late.
So someone tweeted, and this is just some random tweet, so I'm not really even going to give him credit, but I think it's worth noting. This was on March 9th that they tweeted this out.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I'm guessing Charlie Caruso is leaving WWE soon to concentrate on her job at ESPN. I am assuming Kevin Patrick is his stage name, since he apparently also holds jobs with CNN, Sirius, and Atlanta FC, which is a soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, interesting, because I was going to say maybe Charlie, maybe they're kind of, if she wants to do that. But that's interesting. If Kevin Patrick or whatever his name is, I'm not very familiar with him yet, is also holds all the jobs too. But it makes me wonder, like, I would think WWE is about as stable as it can get from an interview standpoint compared to ESPN that has gone through a lot of layoffs recently. To be honest with you, I can't tell you a project I've seen Charlie Caruso on, even though I know she's been at ESPN for a while. I don't know what she.
I forgot what she was doing there, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if she's a weekday on SportsCenter or what. I don't know. So that's just interesting to me. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. She got heat though. I mean, if you're gonna be late on people, those are not the people you should be late doing interviews for. Randy Orton and Sheamus. But at the same time, how are you late for Raw? Like, don't you show up hours before? Aren't they all in the same? Like, I mean, maybe they're going home for the week, but
well, I think it could be for the interview specifically. Like, she could be in the building, in the stadium or whatever, for the Thunderdome, but she's just showing up late to the actual recording of the interview.
I mean, what else could she be doing?
Getting ready? I don't know. Prepping.
Roman Reigns gets ready all day too, and he's not late.
Well, because he's on time. He's a professional.
But Charlie Caruso's not. But Charlie Caruso's
apparently
not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. No. I mean, but yeah, I mean that's pretty bad. If they already got a replacement for her, whatever the case is. I mean. Interesting for sure. So we'll see what happens with her. I think you said earlier too, though. I don't know. I can't think of someone who's had backstage heat as an announcer or interviewee as an interviewer or whatever. Interesting. I don't know. I just think if she had if the smart, for me, I would think WWE is somewhere you'd want to concentrate more on compared to ESPN, just because there's no real layoffs with. Well, I guess they had layoffs recently at WWE too. So
yeah,
whatever. I don't know.
All right.
Life's hard.
Let's get back on the topic of WrestleMania. We got new tag team champions last week on Raw.
Yeah.
The New Day became 11-time WWE Tag Team Champions, defeating the Hurt Business in a phenomenal match. No pun intended. But yeah, New Day picked up the gold. And they were quickly interrupted by the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, and of course his giant Omos And
That's his nickname. His giant. No, I'm kidding.
AJ's own personal colossus is his nickname. That's what commentary has been calling for weeks.
I mean, that makes sense. They're not wrong.
And he made the challenge to the New Day, and it would be Omos's first match ever, much like Big E had his first match technically on the main roster. WrestleMania 29, I think, for the tag titles. They made reference to that. But yeah, so it's official. New Day will defend against the team of AJ Styles and Omos. And if AJ wins, he joins the Grand Slam Champions Club.
That quick, huh? Yeah, U.S. Intercontinental WWE title, NXT title already, and
no NXT. It's just the 4.
He didn't get it, huh? Oh no, because he didn't go. He was he was the one who didn't go to NXT. That's right. I was thinking of Finn Balor for a minute. So just the tag titles are the only thing he wasn't part of that at all. Didn't. Well, I guess the Good Brothers had it, right?
You only need one world title, which technically is WWE. And there is no rematch clause anymore. Technically, they kind of dropped that a while ago. Although they do have rematches all the time, so I could see her business getting another match next week or something.
If it warrants it, though. But I mean, these guys, they kind of go back. I mean, at some point, you got to stop the rematch clause just because they kind of gone back and forth for the title. I mean, the title switched hands just between those two teams as of late, right? So it's kind of like, at what point does that title? I mean, does the rematch clause, like, I mean, you've kind of had your chance or whatever. To that point, though, interesting that they did that with the tag team with Cedric and Shelton. Where do they go with them? I mean, are they taking us not a step back, but are they just going to be more involved in Lashley's storyline? What are we going to see with that? I mean, wasn't there some tension or some sort of Cedric Alexander, I think, kind of trying to break out or do something on his own a little bit? I think wasn't he like trying to take advantage of situations or not tagging his partner when he could have or something along those lines. But my biggest question, though, is I saw the tweet from Big E, sending out a congrats to his New Day brethren there. And he said 11-time champ, right? Now, how does that work exactly? Like, so now are we going to be keeping up with these numbers now? Because it's like Big E's not counted in on this one. So
it's a free bird. It's a free bird.
Yeah, but it's not.
He's a New Day.
Free, right, but it's not free bird anymore. But he's on a different show.
They're still the New Day. The New Day collectively has won the tag team titles.
I mean, that's great. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But say it like that. So I'm just saying, because now this is a Kofi Woods thing. Yes, they're 11-time tag team champions together, but Big E is not.
Well, technically, Big E is involved in those tag team title reigns as well. I mean, he did win some of those matches. So
the other ones,
yeah.
I mean, if anything, you could say this is the second time Woods has won the tag team titles. To be honest, how many times did he actually wrestle over the last? Huh?
I think he's been in a few of those tag matches.
I feel like only like when Big E was down or something. Like, honestly, I swear Xavier Woods did not wrestle for like 2 years. At least not on TV.
Once in a while.
No. Like, it had to be someone was like down, someone was hurt, someone was sick. Like, there was no, I don't know. I mean, I like Xavier Woods. I mean, I thought highly of him ever since what was he? Consequences, Creed, and TNA. I don't know, but okay. So you have Almost in this match now. I think if you're gonna have a big guy in there, we haven't really seen him in an official match yet. No better worker than Kofi Kingston, and you could throw Woods in there as well as guys who can, work with a broomstick and have a great match. So I think the same could be done. And then when you have AJ Styles in that mix, I mean, who better of a teacher or whatever to kind of, not that we're going to see Almost doing a frog splash off the top rope or anything, but if he does, that'd be cool. But yeah, I think this match can be great. At first, just kind of like, but when you consider who else is in the match, I think it could be great. So yeah, I'm curious how AJ Styles really may feel about this match. I mean, he's a team player. I'm sure he's fine with it, but and you can't headline every WrestleMania, but I don't know. I guess it's better than being in the Battle Royal, right? Assuming they're having that this year.
Right. All right. Have we talked about A&E Network producing several WWE documentaries?
No.
I don't think we have.
No, but I did see that too, and I saw that like earlier today. I saved it as a note.
Okay, so A&E Network and WWE Studios are giving fans an exclusive look behind the curtain and all-new Sunday night programming partnership. Of course, this comes from WWE.com with unprecedented access to WWE's archive. The 10-week programming block features 8 original 2-hour documentaries under the award-winning biography banner, showcasing some of the most memorable WWE superstars, including Stone Cold Steve Austin, Macho Man Randy Savage, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mick Foley, and Ultimate Warrior. The first special will be released Sunday, April 18th, so that'll be the week following WrestleMania. Of course, following that will be a brand new series titled WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, led by WWE's Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, which will be a hunt for some of WWE's most iconic missing memorabilia, including Kane's original mask, Ric Flair's butterfly robe, Andy Kaufman's neck brace, Andre the Giant's passport, and more. In order to find these relics, the team will join forces with legends including Undertaker, Ric Flair, Mick Foley, Booker T, and more to bring these items home to the WWE archives. So this is interesting. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. These 2-hour documentaries, as well as this new series, they're looking for those treasures.
I think the treasure thing is kind of cool and kind of interesting. I mean, you've seen a lot of kind of stuff similar in a way, maybe not exactly for wrestling, but when you got storage hunters and treasure hunter shows and all these other things, I think it will be kind of cool. And I think some of that stuff might have been on AEW, not AEW, what is it? A&E.
Or Andy.
No, A&E.
A&W is the drink.
The root beer place, yeah. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they go about doing this. Assuming these, obviously the episodes are made and whatnot, so they were obviously able to get a hold of these things. I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. What's the story behind it? The story of how these people got the neck brace, how they got Andre the Giant's passport. Obviously they have the big warehouse archive set up. That's been talked about for some time now, where they have a lot of this stuff. So that'd be kind of cool to see all that stuff added to the collection. I know Conrad Thompson, who does a lot of wrestling podcasts and whatnot, has done a lot of searching for a lot of iconic stuff on his own. So obviously he appeared on AEW last week, so won't probably be seeing him on this show, but interesting to see if maybe there comes a time where they have to try and buy something from him, because I know he has some of the legendary Ric Flair robes that he's tracked down and bought, even though he's the son-in-law of Ric Flair. So we'll see. I'm curious to know about this butterfly robe. I don't know what WrestleMania that or what show that was for, but I'm sure it had to have been a memorable one. And going to these documentaries, I'm kind of about them, just because so much has kind of been done on a lot of these guys already. The Macho Man one can be interesting. Obviously, there was the what was the show Beyond the Rope? No, we're Beyond the Ropes. What was the name of that other show? What was it?
Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring. There you go. They had we're Behind the Ropes. No. So they had the Macho Man episode, and obviously there's some stuff there from that was kind of not mentioned. WWE probably won't mention some of it either. So I'm curious to see where they go with that. I mean, again, there's so many archive DVDs. The matches are all on the network for people like Bret Hart and Ultimate Warrior and Ric Flair. We've seen stuff on them already. So I don't know what can be brought to the table with these. Maybe it's just more so, I don't know. It'd be interesting because actually A&E back in the day did a lot of like pretty neat documentaries, I think, on wrestlers. Like I think I do remember a Bret Hart one back in the day. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Andy has produced a number of great documentaries, so I'm interested in seeing those. In terms of the Hidden Treasures show, very intrigued by the concept, and I wouldn't mind seeing this being like a multi-season type of series if all goes well. But yeah, so in addition to that, Peacock has officially launched the WWE Network as this airs. As we're recording this, it'll be the following day, Thursday, in which here in the US, subscribers of Peacock will not get access to WWE Network shows. So that should be interesting.
So I'm going to have to do this tomorrow, right?
There's still a network. There's still a network up until I believe the week before Mania, maybe. We still have the network available for us for a couple of weeks before they transfer everything.
So, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, again, do it after WrestleMania or something, like the content stuff, just because, like, I mean, what are you gonna do with that content? What are you gonna do with that build up to WrestleMania? Is that stuff gonna be on Peacock or?
I would imagine some of it. Yes.
I mean, I would hope so, because if it's not gonna be on the network, I know they just uploaded. I got a notification earlier about like Fastlane, the best of Fastlane. So they're still uploading stuff, and I don't know why they would upload stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's for international subscribers, but anyways, we got to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll talk more about that. And of course, they debut of L.A. Night. Say it with me, James. L.A. Night. We'll be back.
It's poo-poo.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 134 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk, of course. You can follow me on Twitter at EthanMB95. You can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
There we go. And we can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
And of course, we're doing this remotely via Zoom. You're not in the 22S radio studio, as despite what Rob's little background says. He's not a full background today, Rob. You just stole a piece of the canvas.
Working.
You just got a piece of the canvas, sir. But let's talk about L.A. Knight. Yeah, come on, James.
What is it talking about?
He made his debut last week.
Wow.
I mean, as we're recording this,
talk about? He hasn't done anything.
It hasn't happened yet. As we're recording this, it's gonna happen in about 20 minutes. But
it's gonna be a bad match. It's gonna be one star. Who is he? Do we even know who he's gonna wrestle?
Have you even seen him in a match? I don't think you have, sir.
No,
you can't.
I don't want to.
Oh my!
Not with a name like that.
You're already hating on a guy who has so much charisma, so much potential to be a star here. It's disgusting, James. It's very sad.
What's your favorite LA Knight match?
It's gonna be the one tonight, the one that happened last week. That's gonna be my favorite one.
That'll be my
each match is better.
Okay, that'll be my favorite match too. Then
say it with me one more time. L.A. Knight. Come on, Rob. You can do it. You're an Eli Drake.
I'm so used to his other name though.
You already forgot his name.
I'm just saying.
It's L.A. Knight. That's what matters now.
NWA. He got to use Eli Drake.
Yeah, he got to use Eli Drake in NWA.
I just can't see a world champion named LA Knight.
Well, you know what? You're gonna be proven wrong. All right. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame.
It's a no for me.
No, Okay, let's quickly talk about the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And we'll get back into AEW and their shenanigans over there because I know they're just making groups left and right.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Hall of Fame. A little bit of some stuff here. It was reported earlier or last weekend. Again, comes from WrestlingNews.co that the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was expected to have been pre-taped in some capacity. The report noted that WWE realized it's probably best for time purposes as there will be 2 classes, of course, as we talked about last week. PWInsider.com reported that the induction ceremony is scheduled to air live from the WWE Thunderdome on Peacock and the WWE Network. The current plan is to have as many of the inductees live on stage as possible, in addition to having some of the roster and invited guests in attendance. Also, fans will attend virtually. So, of course, they will have the Thunderdome in place. The ceremony will take place on Tuesday, April 6th. There will be 2 classes, one for 2020 and the other being for 2021. Of course, reminder, these are the expected inductees: Batista, JBL, the British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger, the Bella Twins, and the NWO, including Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac. And Matt Wally Holly currently is the only name as of this recording to be confirmed for the class of 2021. So, yeah, I mean, kind of expected this. But yeah, we're definitely interested in who else are they going to have. Because there's some big names to kind of have in front of no one. I mean, it's a Thunderdome. So I wonder who else they have planned to induct for the 2021 class. Of course, Molly Holly, as we mentioned. But go ahead, James.
To be honest, I forgot the British Bulldog was even in that class.
Yeah, I mean, I believe his daughter constantly, I'll see her tweets once in a while about how appreciative she is and how excited she is to watch him go into the Hall of Fame. So that's how I'm reminded that he was in this class.
Okay.
I forgot JBL was supposed to be in as well.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, that's
I kind of forgot about the whole class. Like, yeah, I knew the NWO was in it. I forgot Batista was in it too.
I knew Batista, and I forgot Liger was.
I forgot.
Liger, of course. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a whole year, obviously, since these names have been brought out. Mm-hmm. No, Rob, to answer your question, the APA did not go in. It was Ron Simmons who went in, inducted by JBL. And JBL is going in solo. I mean, they could potentially go in as a team. Those guys can go solo. But yeah, I mean, they induct teams and then them individually.
Yeah, but they don't need to. But have you noticed the only ones that ever get put in as a team are Triple H's friends?
I mean, Bret Hart went in.
Bret Hart is the only one.
Come on, Booker T's in twice. Come on, come on, James. Booker T's in.
Okay, those are fair. Okay, no. Those are fair points.
Sure.
But at the same time,
Ron's getting an extra ring.
Sure. Would they have put in Stevie Ray on his own? Yes or no? No, they wouldn't have.
Oh no, because he doesn't.
But everyone else.
He didn't do anything singles wise. To be fair, really.
The Nation.
In the case, Jim Neidhart could have gone in on his own. I think he could have.
Possibly. I mean, Natalia.
The fact that
Sarah.
his daughter's there, they would have made her. They would have had her be the speaker for it, and he would have been in it. But honestly, so I still stand by my statement that Ric Flair, X-Pac.
Are you saying Ric Flair doesn't deserve two?
But why 3? I mean, what do you need to go in 3 times? Like, I mean, what is 3 times? What does that?
He went in twice.
Or mean? But to get the 4 horsemen, then induct all the other guys individually or whatever. Like,
they don't.
I just feel like if you're in the Hall of
Fame,
like,
come on.
I mean,
and in terms of X-Pac, X-Pac has not gone in solo. This is part of the group.
That's what I'm saying, and he could and should.
He should. I don't know if he will.
You're gonna tell me he's not. You're gonna tell me he doesn't.
I mean, China should go solo, but she's only inducted with DX. She probably is not gonna get it. They're not gonna put her in once.
And because that's the only way they were going to put her in.
Right. And Xbox, Xbox
the
should be in.
Outlaws could have been in on their own too.
Who?
I mean, when you think about it, DX, as everyone in DX isn't even in. I mean, you got Triple H, it hasn't been in yet.
No.
Shawn Michaels is the only one who's in there twice.
Right. Well deserved.
Okay, and everyone else is not in.
New Age Outlaws. I mean, Billy Gunn's playing
Not in,
AEW over there,
but-
so he's not getting in anytime soon.
Well, right, but those guys could go in on their own.
Sure.
At least as a tag team in their own right.
Right. New Age
Yeah.
Outlaws, that's fine. Yeah.
So put X-Pac again. What is the point of having DX? I mean, yeah, other than to put China in, don't put China in. If you're gonna wait this long anyways, wait until you do a legacy thing. Put her in the legacy thing because you all don't want to talk about her anyways. The WWE doesn't.
They made a Funko Pop and they're making figures of her, so I'm assuming they're fine talking about her now.
Yeah, but they don't want to. No, they don't want to talk about her on the air any more than they need to. Triple H has made that. I mean, the Triple H is 7 year running it. Do you think they want to talk about China if they don't have to?
I mean, there what's left to talk about? I mean, no disrespect to her. She obviously earned the right.
She should go in on her own.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm not disagreeing with her, with you, but I'm just saying I don't think they're trying to necessarily not talk about her or trying to erase anything.
They're not trying to erase anything. They're just not trying to talk about it if they don't have to. If it doesn't come up, if it doesn't come up on Austin's podcast, if it doesn't come up in the media thing, and no one on the media is going to ask that unless it's on topic or whatever. And I mean, it would have to already be talked about. And she so they not, just she has not just been the way Benoit. They did it.
She's
Rob.
No.
She didn't get in the chat. He didn't get Chris Benoit. She didn't get Chris Benoit.
No, she's mentioned. She's inducted in the Hall of Fame. She's there. I mean, it is what it is. All right. I don't know.
No, it's not. Okay.
Her most famous thing was with DX. I mean.
Oh well, yeah. No, yes and no. I mean, you got the stuff with Eddie Guerrero. You have the Intercontinental run with Jericho. Not saying she was
Jericho right now.
Huh? They don't want to mention Jericho now either. No.
And Eddie's, his widow is over on AEW as well. So.
Oh right, but so the thing is though is, and this leads into this year's class. We'll bring it back to this year's class. The reason why you shouldn't have people like DX all bunched together before they're all in individually is they're already, I feel, super thin. And we talked about this before on the show. Super thin as far as people that are worth inducting. That's why you have guys who are still wrestling going in, guys who are 2 years out going in, guys who are still able to come back and wrestle even though they're Hall of Famers. Like Edge. You forget Edge is already in the Hall of Fame because he's having a run right now.
To be fair,
Phoenix is in the Hall of Fame and she's coming back.
To be fair,
Goldberg is in the Hall of Fame.
They thought Edge was retired.
Well, they did, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but again, this is why you don't induct Christian now, because now what? Now Christian can still wrestle again.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's done,
it's gonna be another 20 years before we see Christian in the Hall of Fame.
But okay, so that's what I'm saying. You could have very easily, and I mean, this is obviously you're looking after everything's said and done, but you could have had X-Pac solo this year. What difference? What do you need the NWO in there for? If you're not going to induct everyone who was a member, then what is the point?
Because it's only the NWO that matters.
Oh, right, the 4 guys. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But the other 3 guys have already been celebrated over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. Hulk Hogan's been longer, but Nash and Hall have just been in not that long ago. So
right, and so was X-Pac.
What are you celebrating? What more of a speech can you give them? I'm just saying, make it X-Pac. Don't make it, induct Sean Waltman, who has 3 different gimmicks. All of them are pretty notable. The 1, 2, 3 kid one is, it is what it is, but he made it work. Had a big win over Razor Ramon. had a good match with Bret Hart.
All I'm saying is, if X-Pac's going in one more time, it's gonna be with X Factor. All right, that's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, so you're gonna put Just Incredible in there too?
But
No,
just that's the only way.
so,
Just Incredible and Prince Albert are getting it.
So who gets in? Actually, that might not be the only way Prince Albert gets in. If
No,
Albert's still the trainer.
he might go in solo.
He will go in, yeah, for sure.
He might go in solo.
Especially because they talk so much about his overseas stuff. Like like he was a whole bigger deal over there.
Yeah.
But so my question is, who are they going to put in next for this class? Like
for this
who
class,
is noteworthy right now? Like who could they put in?
I saw, and this was a troll.
It's going to be something dumb, right?
I saw Virgil post that he was being inducted.
Will they one day maybe put him in? Sure. Dean Malenko would be great, but I don't think. Yeah, Dean Malenko isn't in.
He's in the
right
AEW over there, so yeah. They all went over there. So Big Show's over there now.
That's what I'm saying. They're not putting the meaning in.
They're not putting. I mean, Stevie Richards is good.
They're not putting Richards in.
Who else was in BWO?
Al Snow in there. I think Al Snow can maybe get in.
He's kind of. I don't want to say he's working for Impact anymore. I don't know if he is or not. I know he's training,
maybe,
but I mean, Impact has a relationship with AEW, so no, the Nation.
I mean, if you want to.
They got to bring out The Rock if they're going to bring in the Nation. Rock's going in solo first and foremost.
They're not going to do the Nation because everyone's going to go in. The Rock is someone that they can put in whenever they want. You're not going to do that now, obviously. Maybe you save that for an LA, but
D'Lo's an Impact.
Put D'Lo in. You put D'Lo in. I don't think being an Impact is going to stop anyone from going, like being inducted.
I mean, possibly right now, especially with the AEW partnership. I mean, we've been saying AEW is going to buy Impact any minute. So.
Yes and no, but I mean, if you're not wrestling, I mean, what's going to happen? They're not going to say. What are they going to say on TV? Oh, D'Lo, who works backstage, congrats on being in WWE Hall of Fame. They're not going to mention the WWE Hall of Fame. They're not going to mention it.
Yes, they will.
And
Impact will.
And even if they did, then that's fine. But like, who does it hurt or whatever? It's not like they're going to put the title on them,
I mean,
I just don't know who. Like it used to be super exciting to see who they were going to put in every year.
I'm so excited.
Now I don't. I don't know.
I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk about AEW's new group. The Full Horsemen, as in FAUX Horsemen, as in MJF's group. MJF has aligned himself with FTR, Tully Blanchard, Wardlow, who he was already associated with, and Sean Spears. He betrayed the Inner Circle. It was a double ruse. So basically, he's taking over the Inner Circle. They turned on him first, with them kind of the plan backfiring. But then he ultimately revealed he had a new group already planned, and we got those guys attack the Inner Circle, and we got a new heel faction there. I didn't mind this until I listened to the Cornette podcast, because he kind of broke it down as he usually does. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense how originally MJF was going to take over the Inner Circle, and then he already had a backup group.
Right.
Like, unless they were going to betray them too, but then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of why you betray. It just feels like there's logic out the window.
No, you're right about that, because why would you be trying to take over one group, or you can say you're trying to gut one group from the outside in just to then form your own group? Yeah, it kind of really doesn't make sense.
And this
maybe
group
thoughts
came out of nowhere. There's not like they were aligned or referenced anything. Right. It just happened.
Well, Sean Spears wasn't doing anything either, so they called
back.
The name. And I think, because the only thing is, wasn't he with Tully first before FTR?
Right, and he was gone from TV for months.
Right. So, but I'm just saying. So that's the only tie-in. But these are Tully's guys, really.
Right.
John
And
Spears.
then where did MJF and Wardlow fit into this? They
I mean,
just
you kind of make a case that they're just the leader of Tully's team. So, I mean, I think it kind of doesn't still make sense. It doesn't make it make sense, but still.
I mean,
But
it's
then
there.
again, neither do the ratings again for AEW and NXT. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. The number was way out of whack in favor of AEW. I think it was a little bit closer last week. It's kind of close again this week. I think I have numbers wrong here actually, because I have AEW. I have it right. AEW at 7,000 or 743,000, while NXT was at 691,000 for this week. So again, another win for AEW. But again, it's looking a little sloppy on the AEW side with the signings. You got Eric Bischoff and stuff coming in. Go ahead.
I got some breaking news here as we're recording this. Finn Balor will defend the NXT Championship against Karrion Kross at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Some big news there. Of course, he retained the title thanks to Cool Kyle kind of getting involved. I think we talked about it already last week. But yes, it looks like we're getting that title defense happening at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Obviously happening Wednesday and Thursday. The week of WrestleMania. So any last minute comments? We do have 1 minute left. James, anything there?
Andrade got denied. He wanted to be released.
That's right.
He got denied.
Andrade.
We'll see what happens. I mean, he's Charlotte Flair's boyfriend. I mean,
and she got a Walking Tall. They're rebooting Walking Tall. Which of course they did. The Rock rebooted it back 20 years ago now at this point almost. Yeah. And now she's doing a reboot for the USA Network. I don't know. They're saying possible movie / series, but we'll talk about that more later on. So a lot of interesting developments leading up to WrestleMania, and we're going to talk more about that in the coming weeks. But until next time, this episode of Beyond the Ropes has been absolutely too sweet.